Hey, it's your boy Rubio. Today's episode is all about scholarships. How to find them, what do you need to get those scholarships, and what you should do right now. The best time is when you're a freshman in high school. It doesn't matter what you did in middle school or how many detention you got in elementary. It doesn't matter. What matters is that freshman year in high school to that senior year in high school, and how you use your time, manage it, and how you go on about your life during high school. It's what matters. The very first thing that you need is a good GPA. Your GPA should be above a 3.5 at all times. It should never drop below a 3.5. It's really not that hard to keep a 3.5. If you're taking AP classes, it bumps you up 1 point higher. So even if you have a B, that should be a 4.0. So try to take AP classes. They might be harder to keep an A, but even if you get a B, it counts as an A. So keep that in mind. Second thing is you need a good ACT and an SAT. Place to start on the ACT scale is 28. You always want to go higher, but the lowest you should cap is a 28. Below a 28, it's really hard to find scholarships. 28 should be the minimum that you reach. 30 is the next cap, 33 and higher is the highest cap. After 33 and higher, it doesn't really matter if you have a 35 or 36, they count the same. After that, what matters is what kind of experience you have. So, third thing is the experience. You need to have good experience. You need to shadow doctors. You need to volunteer. Volunteer is a big thing. And not only just volunteer in one place. You need to volunteer in a lot of places. I volunteer in 5 different places. Not for long. 30 minutes, 1 hour, every other week or every other month. It doesn't matter. It's something to put on your resume. You need to volunteer in a lot of places and like well-known places. I volunteered at Maxwell Air Base 3 times. I put it on my resume. It looks really good. You have to find those places. You have to contact those people. You gotta email. You gotta call. Have the people you call, they say they don't need anyone. So what do? You call some other people. You call way more people than you actually can go, because 80% of the people will turn you down. I worked as a tour guide. I didn't get that job because I was going at that tour place all the time where I visited there. I got that job because I kept emailing them over and over, like, do you guys have a position? Do you guys have a position? Part-time, part-time. When someone quit, they finally gave me a call. It was for 3 months, but it was good enough and long enough for me to put on my resume and talk about my experience. I got into the UHP interview. They asked me what I did there, and I told them that 3 months was enough for me to talk about my experience, how I developed my skills, how I took little children into tours and kept them in a straight line, kept them quiet, kept them attentive. You have to get those experiences out, and once you do get those experiences, you have to find a way to talk about them when you have interviews. Alright, so let's recap. We got GPA, ACT, SAT. So what do you need now? You need the websites to find them. The first and foremost thing is you should go to the college that you want to apply and look on their website. They will have a scholarships for certain ACTs, SAT, and GPA. So go to their website first, apply to those. Then you want to have outside scholarships. The outside scholarships, I rank them. Here it is. There's 5. Hope you have a pencil. Write it down. The first one that I would recommend is CAPPEX, CAPPEX.com. Second one is scholarship.com. Then we have FastWeb, Scholarship Points, and Zinc, I think, ZINCH.com. But the best thing, I think it's CAPPEX. I use CAPPEX a lot. CAPPEX and scholarships were my top 2. They have lots of stuff. When I put all my information, they matched me with $2 million of scholarships. I came out and I got around like, 20,000 for that college. So you have to apply to a lot of places. If you apply to 100 places, you will get 10 of them. So that's 10%. Even that 10% is really big. So most people get 5% of what they apply for. So make sure you apply to a lot of places, a lot of scholarship organizations, and you'll see once you go to CAPPEX, they'll send you to other places, other websites, and they have their information and stuff. One cool thing that I learned is when it says submit, send it to someone, send it to that. If you can find the director, you can find someone who manages it, and you send them the email and they forward to someone, the likelihood of you getting that scholarship goes up a lot. So you have to keep those little things in mind. Those little things get you those scholarships. If you're in college, these scholarships aren't going to help you. The best thing you can do is go to your school's website. For me, I go to UAB. We have this thing called Be Smart. That's where they post all the scholarships, all the things. So the best thing for you to do is not to go to an outside scholarship, but to look into the ones that are already there. And the schools have a lot. You just have to sit there and apply. All I did today was apply to 15 different scholarships, and you might think only 15. It takes time. They ask you to write a 500-word essay. They ask you to do this and that, and most of them, yeah, you can just manipulate essay to match up with that, and sometimes you can't. You just have to write a whole new one. So you just have to keep that in mind. It takes time to write essays. It takes time to apply for scholarships. So before the deadline, you want to make sure you have a time frame of what and when you want to finish that. So say this thing is due tomorrow. This is not a good time to start it. I should have started this a week ago. Especially if it has like 3 or 4 essays, I need at least a week to write a good one. Going back to high school, it's very important that you keep a good GPA and a good ACT. You might have a 36 ACT, but your GPA is 3.4, below a 3.5. You're not going to get the highest scholarship. So what you have to do is keep a good ACT, keep a good GPA. They don't have to be a 36. If you get a 30, that's really good. If your GPA is above a 3.5, 3.6, that's good. That's all they're looking for. You need to be a little above the game. Not where the game is, but a little above. And the little above will give you enough scholarships. I only had a 27 ACT, but I have all the scholarships I need. I don't have to pay for my tuition. I don't have to pay for my books. I don't have to pay for anything. Only thing I'm paying for is my housing, and I'm not even paying the full amount. I'm only paying 60% of my housing. I'm paying only 1,900-ish and a couple of books. That's it. That's all that goes out of my pocket per semester. And now I'm just sitting here, and I did 16 different scholarships now. So at least one of them will like my essay, and one of them will like what I did and give me a scholarship of at least $2,000. And that's what I applied for. Most of them were $1,000 to $2,000, and if I get one, that's it. I'll only be out of $900 per semester from now on. So you just have to be smart. You just have to think through it. What you want to do, where do you want to go, what school, what colleges you want to go to. If you know, if you have a good ACT, say you got a 35, 36, and you know you are getting into a good scholarship, good college, because you have all the extracurriculars, you have the GPA, you have everything, then the focus should be not the scholarship right now. The focus should be experience, because if you go into those Ivy Leagues, they will pay for you. If you are under 100, if your parents make under 150K, they will pay for education. That's done. Experience is key. You might not get a lot of experience just sitting around reading books. You have to go out, you have to volunteer, you have to do work that's outside outside the area. When I went to high school, I went to a community college on top of a high school to get my EMT degree. That gave me a lot of experience from a lot of different places. I got to ride the ambulance, I got to work there, I got to see people in their darkest times. That helped me a lot for my interviews. When I applied to UHP, which was the University Honors Program for UAB, and that's like one of the oldest honors program in here, so it's really hard to get in. Mean ACT score is about 30, so for me to get in was very hard, because I have a 27 ACT, and if their mean is 30, then there are more people above 30 and only half below 30, and even that doesn't put it into context, because I have a 27. I think their requirement was 28. So the fact that I had all this experience from EMT, the fact that I went to school in high school, and then after school I went to golf, and after golf I went to college again. So I was there for like 16 or 18 hours of just schooling, and it was hard, but I kept through it. I didn't get all A's. But I didn't fail everything. I kept a balance. I knew that if I kept 4 A's, 2 B's, and then I get my degree, that's going to counterbalance it. So I knew that my ACT wasn't going to be the best. English is not my best language. My native language is Bengali. I learned English when I was in 7th grade, so I have problem comprehending English. I have problem reading English. When I talk to people and try to explain, it feels like I'm talking in a different language. And when people talk to me, sometimes I don't sometimes I don't even comprehend what they're saying. I'll be like, excuse me, what? And when I try to explain something, I talk all fobby, and it's like Ranjit from Dell Tech Support. But really trying to say, it's like, just keep a good time frame, know what you want to do, know where you want to go, what kind of experience you want to get. If you want to be a doctor, you want to go do shadowing, you want to get some degrees in that field. I got an EMT that gave me experience to like see what the life is, what the life of being a doctor or helping people out was. If you want to be an engineer, try shadowing an engineer, try going into places like engineering firms and just see what they do. If you want to be a biomedical engineer, go Google it, biomedical engineers, and see there are gonna be people. Go to LinkedIn, find those people, email, and see if they will respond. Undecided, that's okay. You still want to have a plan. This A, B, C, D, E. You should always have a plan and a backup, and you should have a backup for that backup, because in life, plan A, plan B, plan C doesn't work out. You have to go to plan E, but you want to keep that plan, even if it's highly unlikely. You have to keep that. And for the colleges, you want to choose the one that's very unlikely for you to get in, and in the middle you want to go and you're going to get in, and the very last college should be the one that, yeah, you're gonna get in, but you don't really want to go because that's not where you want to be, where you see yourself being. The recommendations are a big thing, so keep your teachers happy, especially the senior teachers. You want to keep them happy. Bring them chocolate, bring them candy, doesn't matter, whatever they like, give it to them, because you're gonna need that recommendation. That recommendation is gonna carry you through freshman year, junior year, when you want to reapply for scholarships during freshman year to get more scholarships. You're going to need those recommendations. You want to be an English major, you want to have good relationship with your English teacher, because they will ask for your English teacher's recommendation. And you want to go do something in science, they want a science teacher's recommendation. So just be wary of that, and keep a good GPA, good ACT, SAT, whatever the school needs, and just be good to yourself. Get experience. Experience is first. That counts more than anything else. And if you can do a good interview, tell them about your experience, it's going to go way more than your ACT or GPA. Enough about that. Hope you guys have a great night, and I'll see you guys tomorrow.